He was able to get his arm on top of the ground. Between kicking and digging with his feet, he reached up and touched another plant with his free arm. Pulling, sweating, his elbow touched the top of the ground. Straining, he pulled with all his might. His head came up, then his chest. Taylor's top half rested on the wet grass. Rain poured on him. He panted, trying to catch his breath. Butch's voice seemed to be coming from a long way off. "Come on, Taylor, you gotta help me. I'm gonna drown if you don't." Catching his breath, he crawled on his elbows from the hole. When he was a few feet away, he turned around, continuing to lie flat, afraid that if he stood up, the earth would give way again. He looked across the empty space where Butch held to a lone maple tree root on the far side of the hole. Small chunks of the exposed dirt fell, making plopping sounds as they hit the water. Taylor tilted his head, gazing up the huge tree trunk and long branches. Wasn't this the tree where his leaf came from? Suddenly, another clump of dirt hit the water. Butch screamed. Taylor peered ever so carefully down at Butch. Butch didn't look so scary now, Taylor thought, seeing the fear in his face, his eyes wide with fright. "I'll go get help," Taylor said, hearing the fear in his own voice. Butch shook his head. "There's not enough time. Help me, Taylor." Remaining on the ground, Taylor, for the second time that day, ran through his options. He could run to his grandpa's for help, but he was an old man. How long would it take someone to get here? Butch screamed as the root he was clinging to suddenly pulled loose a couple more inches. "I'm coming," Taylor said, remembering all the times his folks and Grandpa had warned him to stay away from the river unless he was with an adult.